Hey everybody, it's Vanessa Simpkins from TakeYourPowerBackNow.com, and I'm so excited that you're joining us here today because this is the official launch of my new book, Take Your Power Back Now: How to Overcome Your Resistance to Creating a Life You Love. It's the ultimate confidence guide for women, and I might talk in a little cheeky Queen of English accent just because it's fun, and bloody hell, your life should be fun. And today you can pick up a copy of my book at this website, TakeYourPowerBackNow.com/book. It is free, absolutely free today. Just pay the shipping and handling, and you get access to $500 worth of fantastic bonuses, all about how to have more confidence in your life. We talk about relationships, we talk about business, we talk about sales, we talk about confidence. And I'm so very excited to be here with a fantastic expert. We're doing expert interviews today, and I'm interviewing the phenomenal Bonnie Gayle from the Body Liberator method. She's also got a fantastic product out on the market called Sex Butter, how to make your sex life better with Sex Butter. And I'm very cheeky, but I promise we're going to have a lot of fun. Bonnie is a fantastic expert. She talks to women about how to overcome body shame and negative body image, so that you can have more power and have more fun and have more juiciness in your life. And Bonnie, welcome to the call. It's so nice to have you here.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so in love with your product. I'm so happy that I met you on Facebook, and I've tried it out. I absolutely love it. I love the message that you're sharing with women in your work around clearing out the negative, the shame that we have around sex, the shame that we have around our bodies. It's so important. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started doing the work that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very interesting too, because I was one of those people that hated my body. I hated the way that I looked, the way that I felt. I have pictures at bodyliberator.com. I have a picture of when I was 24 years old compared to like 2 years ago, which I look today like I did 2 years ago. And it's a shocking difference. And it was really because I hated myself. I told myself negative messages. I fed myself bad food. I didn't exercise. I didn't care about myself, and eventually developed an eating disorder and literally almost died at the age of 28. And it was after I healed the eating disorder that I realized that it's the messages that we tell our bodies that are so very important. And the reason that I say this is because I worked with a healer for quite a few years, and you know what I found was that it was the way that I felt about myself on the inside that was coming out on the outside. So I felt horrible about my body, even, you know, after losing the weight, you know, that I had gained, and, you know, stopping the eating disorder. I was bulimic and a compulsive overeater, so I would kind of go back and forth between the two. And eventually my body just stopped losing weight and just kept gaining weight even if I starved it. So, you know, I really had to reset my mind and my thinking about myself in order to reset my body, because my body just shut down and it was horrible.
And you know, it's so important what you're saying, you know, because it really is all about the agreements, the silent agreements and the decisions that we make when we're younger, and how they get stored in the body, and how it keeps replaying and replaying in a life. And it's only when life gets really serious, I talk about this in my book, about a wake-up call that I got. It was a nasty wake-up call. And it's only until life gets really serious and scary that we decide, hey, wait a minute, I'm going to go inside and do that work. So I'm so very happy that you're sharing with us really vulnerably here the wake-up call that you had with your body, and how beautiful that you transform this, and that you're on a mission now sharing with women how to love themselves, the self-love. And that's so very important. The book that I wrote is, we cover those agreements, how to terminate agreements. And it really is all about loving yourself, isn't it? It's about,
It is.
it's about loving yourself. It's about being brutally honest with yourself and having the courage to go in there. And can you share with us a little bit about how, you know, if women who are listening to this call, this interview now, if they find themselves in that same place, maybe they have an eating disorder, or maybe they're just overweight and they've tried all these bloody diets and they can't figure it out. What are some of the first steps that they can take to start shifting that internal dialogue, to start taking their power back, and having a healthier self-body image?
So one of the things that I tell people is that writing is like such a key thing. Like, first of all, you kind of have to really see where you're at, because, you know, like, we think all different kinds of things, but the point is that we really feel some really deeply ingrained things about ourselves. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to write down all the things that we think about ourselves. And on one side of the paper, I always tell them, write something, you know, write what you love about yourself. On the other side, write about what you hate about yourself, or what you dislike about yourself. And usually the things that people dislike about themselves are like 4 to 5 times more than what they like about themselves. So if you're thinking about that, I mean, think about the fact that your body is mostly made up of water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Emoto, who actually just died recently, had this whole theory about water where he took the same water and he put it in 2 different jars that were the same type of jars, made out of the same type of glass. And on one jar, he wrote the message love. And on the other jar, he wrote the message hate. And then they studied the molecules of the 2 different jars of water, and the molecules of the jars of water that had love on it were like these beautiful, amazing crystals, and the molecules of the jar with hate on it was like this goopy, ugly, disgusting stuff. So what we're doing is we're infusing all this negative stuff. So we have to start changing the messages that we tell ourselves. So one of the initial things that I tell people to do is to take a sticky note, take 3 of them, and write, "You are beautiful, I love you," on the sticky notes. And you have to put 1 sticky note on your refrigerator door, 1 sticky note on the door that you leave to go out into the world every day, and 1 sticky note on the mirror that you get ready in front of in the morning. You know, wherever you brush your teeth and put your makeup on, that mirror. And if they're 2 separate mirrors, then I want 1 on each. And every time you see that note, every time you pass by that mirror, out loud to yourself, you must read it 3 times. You are beautiful, I love you. And eventually, you're going to start to believe it. It's going to take a while. But we need to start reprogramming ourselves from all of the negative crap that we hear from other people, from magazines, from billboards, from television, things that we're hearing that are so negative. You know, look at what they do to the stars. I mean, Renee Zellweger just came out, right? All of a sudden, everybody was like, oh my God, what happened to her face? Hello, she's aging. She hasn't been out in 5 years. And she looked gorgeous. But the media was just pouncing on her like there was no tomorrow. And it was terrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking with the fantastic from bodyliberator.com. She's talking to us about how to take your power back and love your body, no matter what size it is, and how to reprogram your mind. And Bonnie, it really is about commanding the mind. It's about setting in new intentions and making it a pattern, right? And so I just love what you've given here. You're talking about writing sticky notes, putting them on your mirrors, putting them on the places where you get ready, on your car, on your door, and making a new pattern of telling yourself out loud, I love you, you're beautiful, and making that be the new reality. And it really is that simple. I really want everyone here listening to get this, that your life is just a series of decisions. And whatever you've been deciding, you know, if the negative self-talk has been, you're fat, you're ugly, you can't do anything right, you're never going to get it right, you're a failure, you're miserable. And I know what that's like. I've been bankrupt. I've had my own little wake-up call that I talk about in my book, Take Your Power Back Now, how to overcome your resistance to creating a life you love. And I'm so happy that you're sharing this with us, Bonnie. And listeners, if you want to learn more about Bonnie, her fantastic work, she's got another fantastic product called Sex Butter, which I cannot wait to get into. Next question. But take a look at Bonnie's site. You've got one website called the bodyliberator.com. Is that right?
Yes.
Where else can people find you? On Facebook, on Twitter? Share with us quickly.
Bonnie Gayle, Gayle. I have a fan page. Twitter, Sex Butter Babe.
Sex Butter Babe. I want to hear all about the Sex Butter. Before I get into that, it's a fantastic product. I have tried it. I'm not going to tell you who I tried it with, but I've tried it. I want to let everyone know that you can, if you're enjoying this conversation, I want to give you access to my new book. It is free today. We're doing the pre-launch, and you can pick up a copy for free if you go to takeyourpowerbacknow.com/book. When you order yourself a copy, you pay the shipping and handling. That's it. You get a free copy, and you also get access to the 30-day self-love challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, mostly ladies, it is really all about self-love, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And you had a phenomenal journey, Bonnie. And you developed this product called Sex Butter, which is, I mean, people are raving about it. I just have to read some of these reviews here. Let me find this page. Listen to this. Certified sex therapist from Denver says, delicious and sensual sex butter is perfect for steamy sex on cold winter nights. I love your product. Another one here. I really like the new sex butter. Really like it. I never want to run out again. Right? Sex butter is so much better. This woman from San Diego. I have sex butter I loved it from the very first time I tried it. My first impression was wow. But this new formula, double wow, not to mention my man loves it. It's the very. Tons of reviews about it, and it is a fantastic product. It's all natural. Bonnie, tell us about your inspiration, why you created it, how it came about, and tell the listeners, of course, where they can find it if they want to know more.
Absolutely. Well, you can find it at sexbutter.net. And what it was when I was 41, I went into a premature perimenopause, and my body literally shut down. And finally, after going to the doctor, because I had talked to so many people who were not experiencing what I was, the doctor said, use more lube and have sex. And I started looking at lubrication products and the ingredients that were in them. And I mean, things that they clean airplanes with and you clean your ovens with, that's what they wanted me to put on my vagina? No way. So I literally went to a microbiologist and had him create a formulation for me. And it is over the top. It smells like dark chocolate mint, like a peppermint patty. It tastes really good. I mean, it tastes very natural. There's no sweeteners, no parabens, no hormones, no junk in it. And it's like butter. And so you take a little bit out on your finger, you rub it between your fingers, and then you apply. And it enhances sensation, and it really lubricates and hydrates the tissue. So it is awesome.
It really is. I've tried it and I love it. And my partner loved it as well. And definitely ordering some more of that. And what I really want to highlight here is that you know, the whole topic of pleasure, right? You went to the doctor and your doctor said, have more sex. Isn't that an amazing doctor? We love this doctor. We love him. And talk to us a little bit about, you know, the power of pleasure. I mean, I think personally that women find a ton of power in sensuality. And, you know, or do you even believe this, that, you know, maybe the media society is not really promoting women looking and feeling beautiful and having sex? Talk about maybe shame around that.
Oh, I definitely believe that. I mean, look, we have, you know, we are told that, you know, if we have sex, we are sinful. If we expose too much of our body, we are sinful, that our body parts are not sensual. I mean, so unless we have the perfect body, which is basically somebody who's completely photoshopped. I mean, you even see the models. Look, I live in Beverly Hills. I see models all the time. They do not look perfect. I can guarantee you that. So the reality is that we need to experience pleasure. If we do not allow ourselves to get over the sexual shame, get over the body shame, then we can't move into a space of living in pleasure. And most women are walking around existing through life, moving from one thing to the other, doing one thing to the next, responsibilities, just doing, not experiencing. And how can you have a full life if you don't have a pleasurable life? So for me, one of the things that was important when I was creating Sex Butter is that I wanted to have the best sex of my life. I wanted to be able to inspire and create the most pleasure I ever had, even better than in my 30s. Obviously, in my 20s, I wasn't that good in bed. I mean, come on. But by the time I had gotten to my 30s, I was a little better. But literally, I am having the best sex of my life today. That's important to me. I want to experience every kind of orgasm. I want to be able to fully embody my body today. I want to be my own bombshell. You know what I mean?
I love this. I'm taking notes. Embody my bombshell, have the best sex of your life. And it really is that powerful. You know, I think that you're right. The media has taught us that, you know, unless you have the perfect size, figure size 0 now, you know, you're not sexy, and there's shame attached with that. And so I love the message that you're sharing here with women to love yourself no matter what size you're at. And I talk about that. I talk about confidence being the new sexy in my latest book.
Absolutely.
It really is. It doesn't matter what size you're at. If you're size 14, you're size 21, I don't care. Confident women are sexy, right? And that has to do with your mindset. It has to do with, like we talked about here before, what you tell yourself, what you program yourself, what are those messages? Do you love yourself? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? Are you looking for it out there in that job, in that person, in that relationship, in that money, in that car, and all those things? Or are you giving it to yourself every day? And I love this idea. I love that, you know, you got on your mission and you're inspiring people to have the best sex of their lives, and you've created a wonderful, natural, organic product. Tell the listeners again where they can pick up this product.
So you can get it at sexbutter.net. And it comes very discreetly packaged, so nobody's going to know what you're getting. But you will.
Yeah, and you know what? Thank you so much for sharing this, and sharing with the retreat participants. I'm doing a retreat on Kauai, November 9th to 16th, and when I met Bonnie on Facebook, she's like, "I've got this sex butter. I would love to give some to your participants." I'm like, "My gosh, are you ever amazing? I'm gonna send you some in the mail." That's all right, and it arrived, and I absolutely love it, and I love your message. Bonnie, is there another tip that you can share with women? What is the, you know, if you're going to sum it up, and I know you've been, this is a whole life of an entire body of work that you've been doing, but if there's one really like nugget or a challenge that you can leave the listeners with, if there's one thing that you would tell them that would really help them shift out of, you know, this place of disempowerment where they're at with their bodies, and help them move into this, you know, having the best sex of their life, giving themselves permission to have pleasure. I love what you talk about, you know, that life is to be experienced, to have the experience of pleasure. Otherwise, what in the hell are you doing? That's why I talk with this bloody silly English accent, because I like it. It's fun. She's cheeky, and I like to have fun. If I'm not going to have fun, I'm not doing it. I told God, that's it. So what is that one nugget that you can share, that last piece of, maybe it's a challenge, or with the listeners, to help them move into this new place?
Okay, so I have a good challenge for you guys. For the next 30 days, every time you are in front of a mirror, and whatever that first thought that comes to you, if it's negative, I want you to say stop, and I want you to change the message. So I want you to find a message like, okay, just even, I feel youthfully, beautifully empowered in my body, and I confidently know it. So I feel youthfully, powerfully, wait a minute, what did I say? Youthfully,
beautifully empowered
in my body, and I confidently know it. And every single time you see yourself, you're a reflection of yourself in a building, okay? When you're walking by, I want you to say that out loud to yourself. And I want you to put your shoulders back and stand up straight, and I want you to walk like you know it, like you really feel it. Walk like you feel empowered in your body, and you are.
You know, I was just listening yesterday to Tony Robbins. I have a car that my friend Armand lent me. The man is amazing. He lent me his Mercedes convertible. So I'm blasting around here, California, Laguna Beach, up the coast, top of
you're in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, and I'm listening, all of a sudden, boom, I'm listening to his radio, his MP3. So Tony Robbins comes and he talks about, you know, these six success methods or something like this. And one of them is, of course, embodying, you know, being in that state. Being in that state. So there's two things that I really love about, you know, this is a man that's been coaching, you know, some of the world's top leaders. And so I love what you've just mentioned here. Number one, the first thing is, you talk about the power of decision, stopping yourself, catching yourself, right? It's having that awareness to catch yourself when you're having a negative thought and say, nah, I'm not going to do that. I want to do something very different. Stop that message. This is the new message I have. I love it. I feel youthfully, beautifully empowered in my body, and I confidently know it. And then, right, so that's the decision. We talked about Dr. Emoto, and I met this man years ago, and in Montreal with my father when he was still alive. And he made a fantastic book about the science and the proof that because our bodies are water, whatever messages we give it, it really has an effect, a physical effect. So people listening might be thinking, well, shut up, that's too easy. That's a little bit too easy. I don't believe it works. It's too bloody easy. Listen, you don't understand my problem, my this, my that. I've had this problem for 25 years. Listen, it really is a decision, and that's it. Right? And that's what I love about what you're sharing here. It really is a decision. And so the decision to change the message, and because we are water, we change the physiology, and also then to embody that. How does it feel? How would you feel being a youthfully beautiful, empowered woman in your body, and confidently know it? How would you act? And to get into that right now. And that change in physiology with the new message can shift you into a more empowered state where you're loving your body. Bonnie, it's a fantastic challenge. What else do you want to say about it?
Well, I want to say that I would love for your people to respond to you, as they're going along the 30 days, like maybe respond to the YouTube video of what is changing in their lives. Like, how are people seeing them when they walk down the street? Are they noticing them more? How are they feeling in their bodies? You know what I mean? Like, let you know how it's working, because I'm telling you, I've had people cry when I've asked them to do this.
All right. Of course, because what you're doing is you're taking people out of the story that they are disempowered and that they are victims of their life. And I talk about this in great detail in my book. It's Take Your Power Back Now. It's all about overcoming your resistance to creating a life you love. And I talk a lot about the power of decision. Your power lies in your ability to decide. The problem is you've been giving your power away to this silly idea that your problems are bigger than you. That's the big problem, right? And so I'm gonna double that challenge. I agree. I say if you're gonna take on this challenge, please share with us along your journey. Please respond here to the video. Reach out to Bonnie. She's on Facebook. You can find her on her website, bodyliberator.com, sexbutter.net. Bonnie Gayle on Facebook. Bonnie Gayle on Facebook. And Bonnie, I want to thank you for being a fantastic expert. I want to thank you for being a rock star woman, for taking a stand for women around the world, for their pleasure, their sensuality, to have great sex, to feel fully embodied as a bombshell, have the best sex of their life. And I want to encourage all of you listeners as well, if you've enjoyed this conversation and you want to take it deeper, go ahead, pick up a copy of my book, Take Your Power Back Now. It is free today. You can get it for free. I've got about 1,000 copies. They're letting me give them away for free. You just pay the shipping and handling, $7 US. And you can get it on the site here on the screen, takeyourpowerbacknow.com/book. When you do, you also get access to the 30-day self-love challenge. Ladies, it's all about loving yourself. That's it. And I'm totally 1,000% committed to helping you do that. And I'm so thankful that you're here sharing this journey with myself and Bonnie Gayle from bodyliberator.com, sexbutter.net. Get yourself some sex butter and have more sex. It's great.
Bonnie, and you can get it alone too, even if you don't have a partner.
And you see, there you are. I'm glad you shared that. You don't need a partner to enjoy sex. It's true.
Because remember, it's all about you, right? You have to be able to create your own pleasure.
That's right. And you don't need anybody else to be happy. That's another decision that you get to make, right? I posted something on Facebook. Happiness has nothing to do with anybody else. And same with pleasure, right? So Bonnie, any last things that you'd like to share with our audience?
Just have like the most beautiful, amazing, expansive day today, and literally start with that challenge today, because I think it's going to be so fun. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to walk out, I'm going to walk around, and I'm going to do that myself. I'm going to say it to myself.
You are an inspiration to people. Your journey has, you are walking your talk, and it's such a beautiful message, and I thank you really from the bottom of my heart for sharing your story and being courageous, because it takes balls. Even if you're a woman, it takes balls to be that vulnerable and courageous, to share the shit and the shame and to move through it, and to use it as a business now, as a way of serving the world. And so I thank you so very much, and I thank you all of the listeners and the watchers here today on the Google Hangout and the YouTube video. And I'll see you guys real soon. If you want to take it further, please feel free to pick up a copy of my book today. It's free at takeyourpowerbacknow.com/book and share with your friends and fans. This is Vanessa Simpkins from takeyourpowerbacknow.com, wishing you an amazing day, and we'll see you real soon. Bye, everyone.